Hi, I'm here to talk about multi-factor authentication in the New South Wales Department of Education. And you've probably used multi-factor authentication in various forms. For example, if you've done any online banking and you've tried to do certain transactions online, your bank wants to verify that it's actually you that is doing that transaction. And what they'll do is they'll send you, even though you've got into your banking system, they'll send you a text to your mobile phone, and you will need to get that code that they send you, put it back into the online banking system, and that will then grant access to whatever that transaction or function it is that you're trying to do. When we're in the Department of Education, we've actually had multi-factor authentication turned on our staff portal for certain functions. So say for example you forgot your password to get into your portal, there's a button that allows you to go, I forgot my password, and when you do that, there's an option in there to say, use two-factor authentication, send me a code, and I will type in that code, and then it will allow me to change my password. Another option is under your profile here, there's an option that says security settings, and that's where you go about putting your bank account details where you would tell the department where your pay needs to go. If you wanted to ever change that, it will be stopped by two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, where you need to verify that it's you that's wanting to change your bank account details. But what I do want to talk about is something new that's coming, and that's multi-factor authentication that's about to be enabled for Microsoft Office 365. And this particular web page here is one where we are about to launch for initially corporate staff, but eventually all school staff as well, multi-factor authentication for Microsoft 365. And that means we're talking about our Outlook email, we're talking about our OneDrive, our SharePoint, our Teams, Yammer, Word, PowerPoint, all of those tools that are part of Office 365. You will now need to use multi-factor authentication. It's a great security step that we're putting in there to avoid the problems that we're having with bad actors that are around the world trying to get into corporate systems. And we've got a lot of important corporate data in our systems, and each of our users, each of our staff members are responsible for that. So we need to make sure that they are protecting their data as much as possible. So this particular website is going to talk quite a fair bit about what multi-factor authentication is, what's actually happening, how it's happening for Office 365. There's a bit of a project timeline in here, and there's a lot of dates that are yet to be confirmed, but there's this proof of concept, and I've just been added to that proof of concept, and I'm going to be testing this for the first time and seeing exactly what it looks like, and we'll be able to see what we can expect when multi-factor authentication is turned on for everybody. One important thing is to get ready for multi-factor authentication, and there's a button here to check your enrollment, and this is to verify that your mobile phone number has been set up in Office 365. And now what the department has done is taken your portal mobile phone number, whatever's in the portal that you use for multi-factor authentication for accessing those portal things that I demonstrated earlier, and put them onto Office 365 as well. So it should already be set up, but if you go through this check your on enrollment process, you'll end up with a screen that looks like this, and it will show you your mobile phone number, give you an option to change it to a different one, add a different sign-in method. So there's a few different ways that you can enable multi-factor authentication for yourself on Office 365. But what we'll do now is actually go back and we're going to test this and see what it looks like. So I'm here on the inside the department page. I'm looking at my portal. I might just refresh this page because I was playing with those other things. And here are my essentials at the top, and one of them is Office 365. So I'm going to click on that and let's see what happens. So it should take me for the first time and want to sign in and ask me to verify my identity. And what it's showing me is my mobile phone number. It ends in 10 for this particular phone here. And I can choose to send a text to it, or I can choose to get a robot call where I have to press certain keys as prompted by the voice message to verify that it's me that's holding this device right now. So let's send a text. It will go through and it will say, okay, we've texted your phone, and let's see if it's come through. So I have this thing that says Microsoft verification. Whoops, here it is here. And it's giving me a code. So I can now type that in, 266927. So it'll be something like that you'll receive on your phone. Hit the verify button, and with a bit of luck, it should give me this option, stay signed in. Now, multi-factor authentication on Office 365 lasts for 90 days. So it's not something that you're going to be prompted with every day. It's something that's going to only prompt you on your devices that you regularly use once every 90 days. So it's not going to be too onerous, too complicated for you. And it's great that you've got that extra protection for getting into devices. But multi-factor authentication does come in depending on where you are. If you happen to be overseas, not in Australia, and you try to sign into your department account, it will prompt you for multi-factor authentication every single day. It wants to verify that it's you from this overseas location. But if you're always using the same device, if it's a mobile phone and you've loaded the Office Outlook app on there, if you've loaded OneDrive, if you've loaded PowerPoint and those sorts of things, you'll be prompted for that once, but then 90 days later you'll be prompted again. Or if you happen to change your department password, you'll be prompted for the two-factor authentication at that point in time. So I'm now in Office 365 and I can continue using it. So no real onerous process that took place there. It was pretty quick. I just told it, yep, send me the text. I received the text and I typed it straight in and got into my Office 365. Now, going back to that actual website, this one here, if you read further down this page, it talks about something called Microsoft Authenticator, and that's another way of doing it. And it's actually probably pretty handy to have that installed on your phone as well, because sometimes you're in an area that doesn't have SMS, but you might have Wi-Fi, and Authenticator is an app that you can put onto your phone, and it works in a similar way so that you can access your two-factor authentication codes and put them into the system so that you can access your Office 365. So it has apps that are available on both the iTunes App Store for your iPhone and also on the Android Google Play Store. So it's the same app that's available, and you can set that up and you've got access to authenticate via that particular app on your mobile device. It also works on tablets, so if you've got an iPad or an Android tablet, then those same apps can be used on there. Looking back at this particular website, there's a lot more useful information on here. User guides, so if you need detailed user guides on how to set up things, how to set up Authenticator, that's all in there. It's just some information on what is multi-factor authentication, how will it work for staff, what it applies to, and then frequently asked questions. And this will be added to as more and more people get onto the system. So I strongly recommend you have a look at this particular website. The URL will be on the screen shortly, and you'll be able to find out all about what's coming to protect your Office 365 information that's up in the cloud as we turn this on for all staff in the New South Wales Department of Education. Hope that helped.